Hi, Thomas Brinsko here, publisher of Bic Magazine and BicMagazine.com, bringing you our weekly vlog of the top news. The oil business has been turned upside down basically by both COVID-19 and a supply side disruption with the Saudi Arabian government and the Russian government promising to increase their input. You've got supply and demand, and both sides of the equation are killing the oil business right now. I say if there is some good news out there, our industry is cyclical, and we've been through this before several times and survived, and we will survive this disaster as well. So take heart, this too shall pass. I was reminded, looking back at some numbers, in the early 80s, the price of oil crashed from 124 down to 32. That was over a several year period, but the industry certainly had to make some significant adjustments. And if you got white hair like me, you can remember living through some hard times. More recently, even in 2008, the price crashed from 165 bucks a barrel to in the low 50s. We rebounded from that as well, and the United States shale industry really made a difference for our country and the world. So let's keep our nose to the grindstone, not panic, and move things forward as an industry, I implore you. That being said, Rystad Energy, a big research firm, was looking at the world's E&P projects, and they are projecting now that 2/3 of the new projects for next year will not go forward. There's just simply not the energy and the investment behind investing in new exploration and production projects in the current environment. Midstream news, contango is really affecting things right now. It's really hard to produce more if you've got no place to store it. Matter of fact, the VLCCs, that's the very large crude carriers, the big ships, their rates have doubled over the last week as folks are using them as floating storage facilities. Oil tanks are full. Plains All American Resources even is going so far as to require anyone putting oil into their system to show them proof that there's a place to go out of their system. They're afraid that E&P companies are going to use their pipelines as storage facilities. So if you want to put oil into Plains, you've got to prove that you've got storage to put it in or a buyer to take it off your hands. On the downstream side, typical of the industry right now, sadly, Bob Herman, the head of refining for Phillips 66, announced that all of their refineries were throttling back their production to near minimum rates, right? If you think about a car, once you get down past idle, the car will die. And so they're trying to throttle things back to just above idle to keep from producing gasoline and jet fuel and things at a non-profitable rate. Out on the West Coast, I heard from the Boilermakers Union. They're saying that about 40% of the oil field has already been laid off, and several of the refineries and chemical plants are cutting back on their capital projects. I'm hearing that most of the maintenance projects are still underway, but they're using, they being the owners, are using their own employees and pushing the contractors out of the plants as much as possible. There is good news. Our industry always jumps to the rescue of our country when they can and their fellow man, and there's just a lot of great stories out there of the different plants and contractors who are donating much needed PPE to the medical community. Also, INEOS, a big story on our website. INEOS had committed to build hand sanitizer plants and retool some plants to put more hand sanitizer and germ-killing agents into the communities in Europe. Similarly, Dow is expanding their production at their Auburn, Michigan facility, their South Charleston facility, and their West Virginia facility to produce more hand sanitizer for the United States. Look, stay tuned at BIC. We are going to bring you the straight news. I don't like bringing bad news to you, but you probably know it already. I will say, absolutely, we're going to get through this. I've been spending the last couple days studying the legal provisions of the federal CARES Acts and specifically the PPP, which allows for businesses under 500 people, which includes my company, to get some relief. There's a lot of government assistance out there right now. I encourage you running your businesses to look into that as much as possible. It was probably the best part of my week, thinking that we do have a great nation that is going to support its industry and get through this. God bless you and have a great day.